Hi, Ayat. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, Josh?
Yeah, I'm great, thank you. And it's such a pleasure to speak to you, particularly for this series, because like a lot of fans, I was thrilled when you came back as Vanessa during season one
Oh,
after
thank
the
you.
overhaul. And I would just love to know, when did you find out that her story was going to end the way it does in season two? I think a moment none of us saw coming.
Yeah, none of us. Um, well, I received a call from Dario. He was the first one, and then Sana, and then Vincent, obviously. We were like, they sort of explained where the show is going and how it's going to be laid out, and what is the entrance point and what is the exit point. And with Vincent, we just mourned the the story. But they did explain something really, that I could understand, that they sort of needed the biggest gun to launch his, explosion. So yeah, I am that one.
Yeah, so the right ending for the character in your mind, particularly after that big reveal of obviously her role in Foggy's death in season one, do you think this was deserved, or how do you feel about it?
What do you mean deserved?
Is this almost her comeuppance with Bullseye coming after her, or do you think she's a complicated woman, so it's hard to,
I, to be honest, I don't think she would go down unless she had chosen to go down.
Hmm.
Um, I think what's going on in the second season is something entirely different underneath. I think she realizes slowly that she's being haunted. She has a very she has that feeling that something is going on. And I think at the same time she also realizes that Fisk is never going to stop and nothing is going to be enough. And her she's not going to be enough as well. So that's sort of a heart breaking realization. And then once she realizes that there's something going on, and she's sent away to be protected, she's really taking a step in, and she's making sure that if someone's going down, it's going to be her. I think. I think in a way she's putting herself first, because for me the whole theme of this crazy love was always about um, loyalty versus truth. If you give me truth, I give you loyalty. If I give you loyalty, you must give me truth. So I mean that's been always the case. If you look back into any season of any parts of the show, this theme remains. And so I think the loyalty part here plays a big role.
Yeah, well, she is a fascinating character, and in the
Yeah.
comics, I think she's been cloned, she's been resurrected by the Hand. The Kingpin has done everything he can to bring her back. So, is that something you would maybe like to explore, to come back to the character if things were to head
I
down
don't
that route?
know. If I was a writer, I would say yes.
Yeah.
But I am not the writer, so who knows? It depends. It depends on where the show is going. It depends on what they want to see, what they want to explore. Um, yeah,
Yeah, to be continued. But I'd
be
love to know that
continued.
that day on set shooting in the gym with that reveal of the glass in Vanessa's head, and obviously that really striking shot as the blood just flows down onto her white dress. What was that day like for you on set to shoot those scenes with Vincent?
It was, first of all, it was 5 days, if I am correct.
Wow.
4 or 5 days. This was the longest scene ever because it has so many components and so many parts. And I have to say, um, to Slick, he's done an amazing job on that episode. Um, it was it was sad. It was really sad, actually. It was fun at first because of the boxing and the environment and the excitement of the uh, stunts and stuff. But once we got to that part with the gun, that was fun. But the lying down and him collapsing by her side and knowing what's going to happen in the next episode, um, the next episode was really the one that was heartbreaking for us because it was like we knew it was the last one. So that was
Yeah,
real
I can.
tears.
I was going to say, I can only imagine it must have been really emotional for the two of you to shoot those scenes in the hospital bed and the tender moments that they have together before obviously
Yeah.
the inevitable kind of happens.
Yeah, it was. It was so crazy because at one time you tell the story of these two crazy villains, like really complicated human beings, and at the same time it's so emotional, you know? It's fun.
Yeah, and something else I imagine must have been fun in episode 5 is you obviously get to revisit Vanessa before she got caught up in Wilson's world, and we learn why he was really at the gallery, and there's a little bit more context to that now. So
Yeah.
did it almost feel full circle to go back to the beginning with her
Yes.
before you had
Yes,
the
for
end as well?
sure. That was really fun too. The whole gallery thing and um, trying to we also asked the question, is it really her? Is that really what happened? Or is it what she is now in her memory? Because yeah, so that's something interesting that we had discussed, and we sort of agreed that it wasn't quite what happened, but it is what she is now in the sense that she's reviewing her memory. It's a complicated thing. Anyways, but that was really fun to look into that and the rabbit in the snowstorm, which I always thought was an amazing idea and representative of their relationship because bunny like rabbit in a snowstorm, think about it, something very gentle and like constraint versus storm, which and it's really the two of them in a way, you know. He's the storm and she's like the bunny. So, you know, and that painting without the red back in the beginning, without that piece of blood, without that damage that took place. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
yeah,
really
so many amazing moments. And I
yeah.
think, of course, obviously you're saying goodbye to the character, but her impact is still going to be felt. We've seen that relationship with Heather this season, and maybe that influence Vanessa's had on her to maybe send her down a dark path. So was that something fun to explore before stepping away from the character as well?
Yeah, we didn't I didn't have much of that. I had that
Mm.
in I think one or two um scenes with her this season. I can't remember right now.
Mm.
But yeah, but it was clearly that you know this was where she was going, and we we also bonded in like as friends. So this was really interesting to work with. Um, uh, yeah.
Yeah, and of course Wilson Bethel as well, someone you didn't have a huge number of scenes with over the course
Oh
of
yeah.
these couple of seasons, but a really compelling connection between the characters. So how did
Amazing.
you
Yeah.
enjoy exploring that and the culmination of it in the gym as
Yeah.
well?
Absolutely. Because I remember the scene we had in the first show, you know, in the penthouse, where
Yeah.
I'm like, who is this person? And then um, in this season, in season one, the absolutely devastating scene where she's making him do it her bidding, um, and then him coming back, and she knows he's coming back, and she can feel him coming back. You know, this whole thing I really enjoyed. And
Yeah, and it
he's
must
amazing. I love him. He's so much, he's so fun and he's a great actor. And I had a lot of fun working with him too.
yeah, well, he's been a real scene stealer, just like you have this season. And Vanessa, like I said, is such a fascinating character. She is going to have such a big impact, her death on what happens with Wilson Fisk. So I know it's sad to say goodbye, but are you quite excited to see the shockwaves your character will continue having,
Oh my
even into
gosh,
season
yes.
3, I think they've
Yeah,
been saying.
absolutely. The shockwaves, exactly.
Yeah. And looking back, what stands out to you as your favorite moment, or just the favorite thing about playing this character, whether it be obviously in the Netflix series or continuing on with Born Again?
I have a lot of beautiful memories from this show. But I gotta say that Born Again really, I really enjoyed I really enjoyed the first season. I love the scenes that I had with Vincent from this gallery shot of these two complicated human beings meeting at the same time, and then the evolution of their relationship But in season one, Born Again, what I really, really liked to dig into was the um, shrinks couples therapy, which was so bizarre to put these two in. But at the same time, it really let us dive into the idea of um, the themes that we always had, which was love um, and truth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Amazing. Oh, well,
yeah.
Ayelet, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for what you've done as this character. I think you've really done her justice over
Thank
all
you.
these years of playing her. I hope you come back somehow. I think the door's open, so we'll see, but fingers
Yeah,
crossed.
great. Thank you so much. Thanks,
Great to
Josh.
speak.